Hello, my name is Lina Archibald. Welcome to my studio. And today I would like to discuss with you one topic. I had so many questions. Lina, how do you keep your felt so smooth and shiny when you use fiber and fabric? When I laminate my felt with fiber or fabric. Lamination with fabric, it's the same as Nuna felt. How do I do that? Simple. I mean, this tunic is reversible, so we have fiber on both sides and it is shiny. Okay, so what do? First of all, I do not use aggressive bubble wrap. There are different types of bubble wrap. And I do remember one of my students showed me her felt and said, I did everything. I follow your advice, but my felt is hairy. And we started to look through, what did you do? And when I thought, strange, everything she've done correct. And then she said, and when I was rubbing my felt using pool cover, I don't use pool cover. You know, in England, we have luxury, or we don't have luxury of swimming pools. So I don't even have a clue how strong that pool cover. But according to my students, bubbles are very strong. So when she was rubbing felt, wool started to come aggressively through fiber. So my bubble wrap is, I would say, medium strength, because so many different types of bubble wraps, as I discovered, some which is burst easily, like light, medium and tough. I go for medium, and often when you buy bubble wrap, it does not tell you the strengths. So really, I like to pick up and fill my bubble wrap rather than buying online. I just look in how easy to burst these bubbles. Oops, but I needed to put some strength. But if you really put in strength and bubbles not burst, that's more likely strong bubble wrap. This is tip number 1. Tip number 2. I prefer to use, because I create wearable, I prefer to use merino wool superfine, merino wool 18.5, 19 microns. This wool is less aggressive. It has shorter lengths of fiber. I think that's where secret is. Okay, so from my experience, that wool does not eat, not as hungry as thicker wool, does not eat your fiber, your embellishment. I use that wool. It's tip number 2. My tip number 3, I do not use hot water. I use either room temperature or slightly warm. Usually it's a room temperature, just comfortable for my hands. I feel hot water, what's happening with hot water, it's felt quicker, kind of, and it just, that fiber would come through your embellishment quicker. My observation, let me know your experience, please. Now, tip number 3. Tip number 4. I use quite tough net, it's tutu net. So what I do, I put my tutu net, I use soap, olive oil soap. I also put gloves. Yes, of course, we need to protect our hands and our hands to look young. Not just that, actually all wet inside. So much for protection, not just for that. Even when you rub soap, and I rub soap, you see I have net, and then I put my soap, because I'm touching my work with my hands, okay? When you do rubbing, wearing gloves, your hands slide lighter. I mean, there is not much effort, and you don't drag so much wool through your fiber. So if you're doing rubbing, use gloves, plastic gloves. You can use either plastic gloves like mine, any colors will do. Color does make big difference, or latex gloves. I don't like latex gloves. It's just a personal choice. Okay, that's another tip. So I do rubbing like that. Even if you use any tools, oops, I dress my tool inside of some plastic and do continue rubbing my felt, right? Another tip for you. Another tip, choose one side of your garment. If your garment has reversible like mine, okay, I decided I prefer this side, okay, to this, to pink. So really, this is my main side of the garment. This is pink, which is both shiny, but I chosen to do more rubbing on this side, okay? And that includes sanding, rolling, rubbing, okay, on one side. Especially if you have Nuna felt, you know, when wool drags through viscose or fiber, it's not as noticeable when wool drags through silk. Of course, you will say to me, but wool has to come through and grab silk. Yes, it does, but not so aggressively. You know, you still can do Nuna felt, and have that beautiful clean surface where silk is. Yes, you might see wool coming through. So my next tip, always choose wool in tone with your fiber or silk or ducker, okay? So when wool comes through, it's not so noticeable. If it's lighter than fiber, then your work will look washy-washy. If it's darker, it even can emphasize my English. It can make that color more vibrant if it's darker. Okay, that's another tip. What next? What else I would like to say? Yes, sanding. Don't worry. Again, sander should not drag lots of wool through. However, again, my sander dressed in some plasticky. This is plastic. It's a table. Sorry, it's not table. It's draw liner from IKEA. You can buy any draw liner. You can put bubble wrap, or you can put just plastic. Okay. When you do your sanding, it is recommended to cover your work. You can cover with bubble wrap. You can cover with ordinary plastic. You can put even bubbles down. It adds friction, and start to work with your sander. Okay, you don't hold sander too long for fiber to start to get through aggressively. I usually hold and count till 10, like 8-10 seconds. Remove. Again, you don't drag, especially in the beginning, sander like this. That's another tip. What else? When you do your fooling, that is very important. When I do my fooling, I wear my plastic gloves. Okay. I remove. Let's make workplace a little bit tidier. I remove my garment. At the moment it's on resist. It will be neck warmer. I didn't want to rub on yellow, so I'm putting back, and I'm very gently start to do kneading. Okay, when you do that, make sure you have a lot of water and soap. Okay, when you have a lot of water and soap during kneading, that's where, again, from my experience, wool would not come through aggressively. Okay, So that's what you're doing. And very gently, all my movements, very gentle. You know, felt does not like to be bashed. That's how I learned in the beginning. That's how wool comes aggressively through, especially Nuna felt. Very gently with just kneading. And you can gently even do, if you have to, rubbing, or you just do like that, okay? At the moment, I don't want this to shrink further because I'm doing manipulation and I'll show you. But at the moment, what you could do, you just do kneading and then rather than rubbing, put your hands under your felt and just do that, okay? Right? And you can also do rolling here. If you want your felt to shrink in depth, right? For example, not just become, how can I say, smoother and finer, then I use my plastic. This is ordinary pipe from home, some home-based shop. And then even without any bubble wrap, it's not going to felt anymore in terms of creating felted sausage to felt together. You just go, oh my goodness, look, fiber is a little bit loose in color. It's okay, no problem. If that happens to you, right, when fiber lose in color, when you rinse your wok, rinse at, then in final rinsing, add little bit vinegar or lemon juice to stop your item bleeding, okay? So you're just doing very gentle fulling. Okay, I do sometimes drop in, but my drop in usually like that. Okay, nothing aggressively. It's the last, and I would do this like counting till 15, 20. Very, very, you know, how can I say, gentle, okay? Quite often I avoid that stage. It all depends. Oh, look at that. Doesn't help with smooth felt, but I do upcycle. It's proof that I use gloves this been using for many times, right? This is a proof, they're not brand new. So that's all. I mean, in final stage, when you wash your felt, only if you want to shrink further, I recommend hot and then cold water, okay? If you don't have to add hot water, I avoid hot water. I just rinse in cold water. And my final rinse, adding vinegar, mainly to remove soap. Please don't immediately iron your felt. Please, it's temptation to see what happened. I also recommend you, when you finish your felt, when you washed, leave to dry, okay? It's up to you how you dry. I can't put even this on radiator. My radiator is not hot and it's summer. Dry the usual way, and then decide, when it's dry, then look, is my felt ready or not? Okay? And after that, spray with water and iron. If you have to. I mean, I do iron all my felt. I create mainly fine felt, and that's what I do. Okay? If you iron your felt quickly, before even it's dry, and what happens? It looks great after iron. If it's not felted correctly to the end, wear your felt for 1 week and you will see what start to happen. It start to peel. Okay, so avoid the temptation to iron. I did this. That's what I'm saying from my own experience. I could not wait. Oh my God, this is ready. Let's iron and look what happens. I don't do that anymore. I dry, I check my felt, it's ready, and then I decide, do I need to felt further or do I need to iron? And that will be topic of next video. I've done these videos on felt ready or not ready. I've done Facebook page lives. Well, let's create another video, and I'm really looking forward to your suggestions. What would you like to hear from me? What tips would you like to hear from me to improve your felt and learn something new? Thank you so much for attention. Thank you for watching this video. I wish you all the best. Goodbye.